money from out of the pit.
Welcome to the Return of the Sun of the Show. I'm Paul.
I'm Mark.
And this time around, we're going to be talking about one of my favorite shows, like, ever. And being as it's 50 years old, it seemed to this year, it seemed kind of like a natural. A lot of people enjoyed our Bionic Woman series
Yes.
and our Battlestar Galactica, and this kind of seems to fall in line with it.
Mm-hmm.
So what we did was we got together, we watched the pilot episode,
Yep.
which on my DVD collection was kind of hard to find.
Yes.
But that could just be us.
Right.
So yeah, we thought we would talk about we watched it. We thought we'd talk about it, and
Kind of in line with our reviewing other shows from
Yeah.
the 70s. Our, sort of a continuation of our Bionic Woman,
Yeah.
Battlestar Galactica, Buck Rogers, sort of. So
Yeah.
another 70s show.
but yeah, one that wasn't produced by the people
No.
that produced everything else we
No,
watched.
that's correct. No, there's a different group of people.
Yeah. And it shows.
And it shows, yes. So, where do we want to start with Wonder Woman?
Well, we don't have to explain who Wonder Woman is.
Right.
She's part of the zeitgeist of the world at this point.
This is a closer comic book adaptation of Wonder Woman.
This is very much
close.
a comic book adaptation. At least the pilot was.
Yes. The fact that they set it in World War II for the pilot and for what we'll see in season 1
Yeah.
was an interesting choice. But that's how the so they really went retro with it.
Yeah.
And I mean, you get the classic beats of the Wonder Woman origin story.
Mhm.
So you get Steve on the island.
Yep.
You get her disguising herself in a athletic/Olympic competition
Mhm.
to win, taking him back to civilization. You get the fear and the Amazons have for the world of man, and then you get her sort of fish out of water, but helping fight for liberty and justice and
the old red, white,
they're
and
all
blue.
red and white and blue, as the song says. So yeah, I mean, it's not, they didn't. You really can't accuse this one of going off script from the comic book. It's not a reimagining.
No, in fact,
at all.
it watches like a comic book. The dialogue is campy.
Yeah.
The over the top, like, romantic melodrama is great.
It even has connecting scenes look like a comic book.
Yes.
With the narrative boxes. So I mean, they definitely, and then it of course fades to the comic book page at the beginning and the end, which I thought was kind of cool.
Well, one of the things, real quick, the opening scene when it says, like, at a secret Nazi headquarters, and there's, like, Nazi flags hanging everywhere.
Yeah.
When I first got this, because I bought the season 1 when Amazon wasn't Amazon yet. It was only like $10. But when I put that in and it started, I'm like, wait a second. So I snapped a picture of it. There's a meme. It's still going around. I circled the little narration box, and I wrote, "Go home, Nazis, you're drunk." And it's still out there in the ether. I've had it come across my Facebook page once in a while. But one of the things, we'll get to who's in it as much as we can, and
it was really hard to find information on just the pilot. Everybody skips right to the season 1.
Yeah, as we almost did.
Yes, we accidentally almost started with season 1. Yes,
but let's face it, we know the cast. Linda Carter, obviously. Correct. Wonder Woman.
Yep. Lyle Wagner
is Major Steve Trevor.
Yep.
Not Carl Reiner.
We thought it was, which apparently, according to the internet, everyone mistakes John Randolph for Carl Reiner. So we're okay. It was okay that we thought it was Carl Reiner.
Yeah.
But he is General Blankenship.
Yeah.
And Fanny Flagg as, I don't remember if they say her name. Hippolyta.
They say her
name. I don't think they said her name.
And was it Cloris Leachman?
Cloris Leachman is her mother.
Yeah.
And then who I thought was the guy from Laugh-In? He's the little
Oh,
assistant.
I don't know what that
Little
guy's
Nazi
name is.
assistant.
I keep thinking he's Dr. Shrinker, but
Yeah, I had his name in my head, and I've forgotten it. But basically, he's Artie Jones is who I thought it was.
yeah,
But
he kind of reminds. He's like a discount Artie Jones.
yeah, discount Artie Jones and then also who was I going to say? Oh, and then Red Buttons
Yeah.
plays a shyster uh
Talent agent
talent, a quote
slash
unquote talent
uh,
for
secret Nazi.
yeah, secret Nazi. Yes.
It's one of the things I was thinking about this when we were watching this is like, Red Buttons basically convinces her to become a showbiz act so he can attempt to, offer because he's a Nazi, as is Severin Darden and a couple other people in the show. But what I think is hilarious is the fact that given the time period that the show was made,
Mhm.
um, like they wanted to like they could have made them just Nazi sympathizers. They could have been just American Nazi sympathizers, but because they're Nazis, they had to have the Nazi accent. Because
Yes.
Lord knows
Yeah.
there are no Nazi sympathizers in this country.
Oh, not at all.
Never have.
And now they call, even though it's funny because in some of the information about the pilot,
Hmm.
they call them the fifth column,
Yeah.
which is supposed to be sympathizers. But yeah, they all have even the even the grandmother with the machine
Yeah,
gun
yeah.
who they try to assassinate. I mean, she was so classically
Now,
the bad
yes.
bad German accent.
Like now in that era, you could have walked into a drugstore and bought a Tommy gun. That's just the world
Yeah.
we grew up in.
Yeah.
The world that was back then.
Right.
So, but the fact that she's like a Batman Adam West villain. She just
So
big ass machine gun.
So let me say this
Mhm.
before we get into what we thought.
Mhm.
So I'm watching this
Uh-huh.
and I'm going. I didn't. 'Cause I remember this show, but I really remember the later seasons. I remember when it goes 70s, and so
Yeah.
I don't have too many memories of the World War II stuff. So
Oh, you're in for a treat.
oh, I know it'll be great. But so I'm watching this and I'm like, why are they partially leaning into the Batman 66 stuff? Why don't they just go full Batman camp? And why is it, but it's somewhat serious, but why is it so much like Batman? And I'm sitting there going, is this all they knew back then? So you had to make it Batman and you had to make it like Batman 66. And why does it have all these comedy actors in it?
Mhm.
So almost everyone in the show, except for Linda Carter,
Yeah.
is a famous comedian actor.
Yeah.
So I mean, Cloris Leachman's comedian. Fanny Flagg is a comedian.
Lyle
Wagner is
Yep.
a comedian.
Yep.
He was on Carol Burnett.
Yep.
So I'm sitting there going, the tone, the serious tone of it, sort of, but then sort of the cheesiesomeness. And so while we're sitting here setting up,
Mhm.
and I'm like, all right, who produced this thing? And so I'm looking, and I'm like, okay, I didn't recognize the name. And then right here on the back of the box, this is literally, oh, sorry, like a minute before we got started, The Batman Connection.
Okay.
Stanley Ralph Ross, developer of the Wonder Woman TV series, wrote 32 episodes of the Batman TV series. So there you go.
So that's probably
so
why-
that is why it feels like Batman 66.
Well, and you were like, when she goes up to the big building with the pillars and stuff,
Yes.
you're like, is that police headquarters
From
in
Batman.
Gotham?
I bet it is.
A lot of those backlot
Yeah.
were probably from the Batman TV show.
So as I'm watching it, at first I'm like, okay, this is a failure because it can't decide whether it's serious or campy.
Mhm.
But once I knew it was done by the guy that did Batman, I'm totally everything like falls into place like a puzzle. And so she's serious. Wonder Woman is serious.
Yeah.
Just like Batman was serious.
Yeah.
Everything else in the show is ridiculous.
Yes.
But the character of Wonder Woman herself is serious. And once that happened, once I read the back of the box, now I have. Thank God I saw that because this would have been a very negative review. And
yeah,
so
I was. We were watching.
Yeah.
I'm over here like having a ball, and you're just like, looking stuff up on your phone.
Yeah. So so the things I complained about in my notes here are not complaints anymore because okay, that it really was trying to. It was done by the guy that did Batman 66, so now it makes total sense to show.
Yeah.
But I think he toned it down a bit.
It's way different.
It's way different. Yeah.
Yeah. I like
So,
it. It does have.
but the comedic bits of it, and
Yeah.
I put in my original notes, I put totally this show is totally miscast, but no, it's not.
Yeah.
It's exactly what they would have done with Batman, and so now it just all totally makes sense as a show.
Well, good because I was
Yeah.
getting worried. 'Cause
No, I
really want to
yeah.
go through this.
No, I do
series.
too. No, now I do. Now I want to watch. Because I also, I think what's the big difference between what I noticed tonight with Wonder Woman is they've really decided to just like and this is pre Bionic Woman. Yeah, this should be.
Oh yeah.
So this is very much Wonder Woman's not a joke. I mean, Bruce Wayne, Batman, Bruce Wayne, kind of a joke in the Batman 66, but not. She's not a joke,
Right.
And it doesn't feel like the show is going to treat her like a joke. So I really like that tone. That's what I was liking about the show. I'm like, I love her. I love how she ends up really being more grounded and moral than the Amazons and the United States people because she's a true hero.
Mhm.
And so I like the fact that, and I mean, it's got to be to Linda Carter's. I mean, Linda Carter had a lot to do with.
Yeah.
I mean, as you said, she invented the spin, came up with the spinning idea.
She said she came up with the spin idea, and there's a behind the scenes documentary on this show that we could watch at some time.
So I'm just going to take these notes
Okay.
right here and throw them away because they're totally useless. Because now I get it. Now I get it. So it makes total sense. So with all that in mind,
Mhm.
it makes sense that there's tiny little adult jokes through the whole episode.
Yes, like one of my favorite gags in the whole bit, the whole show, is towards the end when she's rescuing Steve Trevor, and Red Buttons, Severin Darden, and the other guy. She busts down the door, and they all pull out their guns, and Red Buttons just like
because he knows,
he just knows it's useless.
And I actually like Red Buttons. I love him in Poseidon Adventure.
Yeah.
There's nothing to not like in Poseidon Adventure, but I really liked his character in this. I think I wouldn't have guessed he was a Nazi. I really thought it was just a plot point.
Yeah.
To get her on the radar of the Nazis. I never would have guessed he was a Nazi.
Right.
And so I thought that was really clever. I think we always talk about how the movies changed the characters, and they really don't in this. This is totally where Batman 66, the comic became Batman 66, not the other way around.
Yes.
There was campiness in the Batman comics before that.
Yeah.
But all comics were crazy and all over the place.
Well, they had to be sillier because the Comics Code Authority was cracking down on drama, so that's why you had Batman fighting aliens, and dinosaurs, and stuff like that.
But this really feels like let's transplant the really strong female powerful character we have, and with a little bit of fun for the adults watching the show. That's what I think this show is going to be for me.
Yeah, and as far as that little bit of fun for the adults, my dad loved Wonder Woman.
Oh
I can't figure out why. I mean, he hated everything. Everything I watched was stupid. Everything I watched was dumb. But he loved Wonder Woman for some reason. I can't quite figure it out.
Well, and I mean, I think for me, what was the most while we're watching it, I'm like, the invisible plane is so stupid, so dumb.
At least it didn't look like a swan.
No,
World War II, it looked like a swan.
Yeah, no, but now it's like, oh my god, that is so Batman-esque.
Yeah.
And
I also love that the Nazis are played as a joke.
Yes,
because when you have the guy in the beginning in the plane, he's like,
right.
And the soap opera angles they were using when the commander and the not Artie Johnson guy like they would do where the one guy would be in the front, and the other guy would be in the back.
Correct.
And there was just this weird
Vibe.
vibe between the two of them that
Yes.
was hilarious. And the the fact that when she foils the commander in his plane towards the end, and she's like impersonating his voice.
Yes, yes.
Oh, and she's like talking like him. She's even got the eyebrow
eyebrow,
going, you know,
yes.
almost like winking at the camera.
Yeah.
And
But they're not. They're silly. Well, they're not silly. They're played for comedy, but they're not. It's not the Three Stooges Nazis.
No.
They're not stupid.
Yeah.
So the fact, and that's what I kind of like about the show is that the commander flying the plane, for all of his weirdness, was actually pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
And it took Wonder Woman landing the invisible jet on top of him,
Yep.
breaking into the plane and crashing it into the sub, which I thought was great.
Yeah.
That was like pure
that was a
pure
nice
comic
little-
book joy, right?
It was a great way to like get yourself out of that plot.
Yeah.
The U-boat surfaces. She just, for lack of a better word,
Yeah.
kamikazes
Yes.
the German plane
Yeah.
into the U-boat.
So like I said, when it comes to her, she's not a joke.
Yeah.
And she kind of looks around at everyone like, and I like that you know, you guys are kind of, this is a weird,
Yeah.
you people are weird.
Yeah.
And I'll figure this out, but you people are weird.
Yeah.
And so I kind of like that aspect of it too. And then as I'm watching it, at first I was like, Cloris Leachman as a goddess, but she actually, I liked her. She was very sure. She had a breadth of acting I was not aware Cloris Leachman had.
You didn't know Gam Gam could act?
No, I didn't know Gam Gam could act. She could. I thought she did I thought for sure when I saw that she was in it, and I didn't remember. I don't remember her. I remember Morticia being for
That's
a few
something.
episodes.
There may be. We did notice that there's some actor shifts
Yeah.
in from the pilot to the first episode,
Yeah,
and she may be one of them.
I think Cloris Leachman's in it, but I think later on, maybe in the '70s series, but anyway.
My memory
I-
isn't that good.
Yeah, I remember Morticia. I remember her mother being dark haired, but anyway,
Well,
yeah, I thought.
that's that Mandela effect because I think she had a blonde wig.
Or did she? Okay. Well, the wigs. Now, one thing I do have to say is the wigs in this show are terrible. Why was that a thing in the? I don't remember. Was wigs a thing in the '70s?
I think they just wanted bigger hair.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, that's
We're gonna
going to
say-
eventually lean into big hair of the '80s.
Yeah, I don't know, but you could tell when Linda Carter had anytime she had the tiara, she
Yeah.
had the wig.
Yeah, which I think is disappointing because, like, I get the blonde wig. I get when she's disguised herself, and I'm like, blonde. But no, she's much better as a brunette. But yeah, I don't know why they have to have her in a wig. And then her friend at the beginning in that god awful red wig, just
Yeah, well, that's true. What was the deal? Why did they all? I mean, why did they all have wigs? I mean, even Fanny Flagg, who
Yeah.
I love dearly, like even her hair looked like a wig.
yeah.
And
Was that a joke of some kind, maybe that we're just not getting because it was '60s and '70s? Let us know if you're older than us. In other words, dirt. If you were dirt, this all first came on. Was that a joke, like an ongoing, or like a style joke, like we're making fun of people? I don't know.
I think it was. I think it was a stylistic choice for the overall look
Okay.
of things, and considering the fact that we watch it on a more modern TV,
Maybe couldn't
you
tell.
tend to pick things out like
right.
that.
Right.
So maybe watching it in the olden days,
Yes.
50 years ago,
Yes.
on a little 18-inch, Quasar.
Yes. Or would have been black and white in my house.
Hmm.
So, yeah. Okay. No, that makes sense. So, no, I think I'm excited now. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get more Batman-esque,
Hmm.
and I think as a kid I probably liked it for that aspect of
Mhm.
it. But I'm hoping it'll be interesting to see how they balance the seriousness of her,
Yeah.
with the other comedy stuff.
Yeah. And there were there was just a unique way this show was filmed, and the look of it. And when you had mentioned when you brought up the Batman angle, it a lot of it makes sense now. But when you just mentioned a black and white TV, one of the things that I wish they would have done, because it starts out with real footage of Hitler and Mussolini
Hmm.
and war, and then it leans into you see fighter planes and stuff.
Yeah.
I wish all of like everything that took place, like with fighter planes, would have been black and white.
Yeah. That would
Like
have been cool.
even when they're in the cockpit, like just have
Yeah.
if you're going for an over like a style,
Hmm.
just even when Steve's in the cockpit, just make him black and white for
Correct.
whatever reason.
Yeah. For no reason. Yeah. For
Put a crackly film grain on him.
or do the sepia tones, like because a comic book would do that. A comic
Yeah.
book and flashbacks would change the tone of the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. That would have been cool.
But overall, I love it for what it is.
Yeah, I'm mad that I didn't know the Batman connection before watching it. So
Well,
that's funny.
Well, then it's funny though that I've got a Batman.
That's true that we got a Batman there, and so yeah, so that's interesting. But it makes a lot more sense. But I think that I can see why, in addition to the Bionic Woman, I mean, she was a feminist icon. I mean, they make no bones about it in
Nope.
this episode.
They hit you on the
Yeah,
head
they
with
do.
it.
She gives a
And
speech.
that's fine by me.
Yeah,
'cause-
I think it's great. And she even kind of does it to um so we've got the sort of the feminist angle when she's in our world, but then in her world, she's also sort of got the I'm more than just a princess. So
Yeah.
she's also fighting kind of the social strata
yeah.
that I'm not. So that I think that makes her interesting as a character too. So she's
And
not.
it's those tones, it's those themes that make me wonder, like when the word got out
Mhm.
that they were going to do a Wonder Woman TV show. Every female actress must have just clamored to get
Yeah.
for an interview for an audition for anything because
Mhm.
there are so many. This was a big deal.
It still is. I mean, there was when they tried to do the relaunch TV show.
Mm,
When was that? 90s, 2000s, early 2000s.
2000s.
Yeah, they try, and there were so many women that put in for that. And of course, it unfortunately didn't get made. Well, I guess, someone saw the pilot, said it's probably a good thing it didn't get made into a show.
Somebody had said they wanted to make Wonder Woman meets Ally McBeal.
Oh,
Yeah, and I think just saying those words killed
yeah,
it.
that kills it. Yeah, yeah,
Killed
you're
it
right.
for me.
Yeah, but Pedro Pascal was cast in it. I wish it'd be interesting to have seen him as
Well,
a really young guy.
I wonder if that's why he was in the second god awful Gal Gadot, because
I don't know. I didn't see the second one because I just decided no.
I got the first one on it
Right.
because I love it. Fight me in the comments
Yeah.
verbally. I love this movie. Then the second one came out. I was excited for about 11 minutes,
Mhm.
and then it turned into garbage. But Pedro Pascal was in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, he plays the bad guy. The problem I had with, and not to get off on a tangent, but the problem I had with Wonder Woman 84 or 1984 was it played out like an episode of the Super Friends.
Oh, okay.
And I hate it. I don't like the Super Friends. I'm not gonna. I just
Wait,
not.
wait a second. Wait. That's we got to pause. We have to take a little tangent here. Which version of the Super Friends are you talking
Not Challenge of the Super.
Thank you. Okay, good.
It's the natural disaster. It's the satellite falling.
It's Martin. It's the dog.
It was
hate the Wonder Twins?
Oh God, yes.
I love
Wait, the Wonder Twins?
Yeah.
Oh no, I love the Wonder. I thought you were talking about
Marvin and
no, I love the Wonder
yeah,
Twins.
the Marvin.
Unapologetic.
Yeah, yes. Okay, good. Okay. All right. So thank you for clarifying.
All right.
You just said you didn't hate it. I'm just like, wait. There's a lot of Super Friends shows.
Anyway, that aspect of Super Friends,
which, by the way, I'd happily watch Challenge of the Super Friends if you would like us to review that show.
Let us know down below.
I would happily.
I mean, we'll probably do it off camera, but if you want to, hear what we have to say about it, let us know down below, and we'll happily do it.
I also think it's interesting. We kind of laughed, but when Cloris Leachman explains why she made the costume, because you represent freedom and democracy, and I'm just like I don't know, I just like the whole thematic.
Yeah,
you
and
know.
it's that when you find out that it was the Batman people,
Yeah.
that kind of dialogue makes total sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, interesting now. It's funny to watch a show from the 70s, listening to Lyle Wagner and her speak about what America is and freedom and equality for everyone, and we believe in democracy. We don't like dictatorships. I'm just sitting there going, where's Wonder Woman now? We need Wonder Woman right now. Where are you, Wonder Woman? Come talk to some people.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's weird for 200 plus years. Yeah. Anyway, I don't want to get off on that tangent, but it hurts. It hurts to watch when America meant something else. So anyway, no more tangents. But
no more tangents. No more.
Even
no
though
more
a whole
that
episode.
tangent.
Yeah. So this whole episode's been a tangent. But no. So I think I'm excited. Like I said, I'm looking forward to seeing more of this now.
All right, so I guess that'll wrap this episode up. Apparently, we're going to do more now.
Absolutely. Well, it's just I didn't understand. I couldn't figure out the tone. I could not. Now I get it. So that's good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, just like at the beginning, I'm Paul.
I'm Mark.
And this has been the return of the son of the show.
Dressed this way, she's a Navy wave. But beneath that uniform, she is the Wonder Woman doll. And now you can create your own Wonder Woman adventures with these other dolls. Major Steve Trevor, Nubia, Wonder Woman Super Foe.
Gotcha, Major. Wonder Woman, hurry! I'll save you, Major, as soon as I tie up a few loose ends.
Wonder Woman, Major Steve Trevor, and Nubia dolls sold separately. By Mego.